So today we're going to go through a few slides during this PowerPoint. You're going to have a copy of your study guide that you can open and be working on as we go through some of these. We're not going to get through the PowerPoint today. There's going to be another day where we go over these same slides again and we go through the entire PowerPoint. I just wanted you all to have this background and be able to start working on your study guide a little bit. You're going to have access to this PowerPoint as well. Before we ever start this, however, you should be watching the crash course video. So we're going to look at the French Revolution. One thing that I want to take from this slide is the effects of the Enlightenment, but the American Revolution. So the French helped during the American Revolution. They were aiding the Americans. So the French were able to see the Americans, these colonies, rebelling from Great Britain, rebelling from their king and queen, and they no longer have a king and queen now. They have a democracy where everyone gets a say in how the government does things. Everyone gets a vote. So their ideas on government inspire calls for democracy. So they're looking at what the Americans have done and what they have accomplished. There's also rebellions that are going on in Latin America, and there's growing unrest in France, and we're fixing to get into that a little bit better. So the French society was divided into three classes. These were called estates. So the first estate was the Catholic Church and clergy. So when it's talking about the Catholic Church, it's not talking about a poor Catholic preacher, a poor Catholic priest. It's talking about high ups in the church. So your second estate is nobility and aristocracy. And then your third estate is the bourgeois, which are educated lawyers, doctors, and businessmen. And then you also have peasants and farmers. So the first estate, this is your clergy. So these are your bishops. They're only 1% of the population. Let me do this. This is only 1% of the population. And only 10%, they own 10% of the land. These people pay no taxes. Your second estate, they're 3% of the population. They own 20% of the land, and they also pay no taxes. They control the government and live off collected tax money. So although they pay no taxes, they live off the tax money. So if the first estate and the second estate, neither of them pay any taxes, so where's the tax money coming from these people live off of? To answer that question, you have the third estate. The third estate makes up 95% of the population. They have almost no say in the government. They pay all the taxes and they pay the tithes to the church. So this is what the first estate and the second estate live off of, essentially. So in this political cartoon, you all can kind of see. So you would see the first estate, right? Your clergy, your second estate, and then this is your third estate. See, the third estate is carrying these other two estates on their back. Okay? King Louis. He accumulated a huge debt from the Palace of Versailles. He was a weak ruler. He was pretty indecisive. He couldn't really decide on things. But he was an absolute monarch. He was the king. He attempted many reforms, but failed, essentially. He just wasn't a great leader. Then you have Marie Antoinette. She's the Queen of France, and she is a big, big spender. She likes to spend money. She likes the more lavish things in life. There's a story. There's really